At various times, most of us wonder about and even wrestle with this question. Why is the world the way it is? Why does brokenness feel so universal? Why does death touch every life, no matter how careful we may be or moral or sincere we try to live our lives? Romans 5 verses 12 through 14, Paul here traces the root cause of all of this way back to the beginning, to the fountainhead of all life. He writes, "Therefore, just as sin came into the world through one man, and death through sin, and so death spread to all men because all sinned." And Paul's not describing a series of unfortunate accidents. He's explaining a catastrophic rebellion. Sin did not slowly evolve, gradually affecting humanity incrementally. It decisively entered the world. And when sin entered, death followed close behind. From that moment on, death spread to everyone, not merely because we imitate Adam's sin, but because we are inseparably connected to Adam. Adam stands at the head of the human story. When he rebelled, the effects of that rebellion rippled outward to all who will come after him. And Paul is teaching us that our problem is deeper than bad habits or poor choices. It's a condition we all inherit. And Paul knows this raises a question. What about people who lived before God gave the law to Moses? So he continues by saying this, "For sin indeed was in the world before the law was given, but sin is not counted where there is no law." Paul's point is not that sin was absent before the law, it was very much present. The law didn't create sin, it revealed it. Even before God spelled out his commands in detail, humanity still lived in rebellion against him. And how do we know that sin was present? Paul continues on by giving a sobering answer. He writes, "Yet death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over those whose sinning was not like the transgression of Adam." Death ruled. It reigned like a king, and none escaped it. Every generation bore witness to the same truth. Something was deeply wrong with the world. Even those who did not knowingly break a specific command like Adam did, still they died. Death's universal reach proves sin's universal presence. And then Paul adds a phrase that points us forward with hope. Adam was a type of the one who was to come. Adam is not the end of the story. He is the beginning of a contrast. Paul is preparing us to see that just as one man's disobedience brought sin and death to all, another man's obedience will bring grace and life to many. The damage done by Adam is real, but it is not final. This passage helps us face reality honestly. It explains why death feels inevitable, why brokenness feels universal, even why our best efforts fall short. But it also prepares us for the good news. If one man could affect all of humanity through disobedience, then God's plan to restore humanity through one righteous man is not only possible, it is powerful. Romans 5 reminds us that our hope does not begin with denying how bad the problem is. It begins with understanding it fully and then trusting the Lord Jesus Christ, who has accomplished the work that is the only remedy to our sinful ailment. That is why calling you and me to trust Jesus is such a pressing and urgent and vital thing, because he is our hope.